Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the DJI Mini 2 today, and I'm out at Discovery Park in Meridian, Idaho. This is a park I've flown at before, but it's been quite a while ago. It's kind of south of the main part of town, and it's a windy day today, 12-mile-an-hour sustained, 21-mile-an-hour gusts. The Mini 2 should be able to handle that just fine. But I'm kind of glad it's windy because it'll show the capabilities of this little drone. And I know that's a subject with many drones that people are concerned about, is flying in the wind. I don't think we're going to have any problem. But the other reason for this flight is I want to talk a little bit about the Mini 3. So the potential of what the rumors about the Mini 3, I should say. But in any case, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, I've got the drone fired up. We're going to take a quick look at the safety menu here. The app, the Fly app, warned us that we're in Class E airspace. We're not. We're below Class E airspace. We're well below surface Class E airspace. So anyway, we're good to go there. Let's take a look at the safety menu. I've got the return to home altitude set way too high for what we're doing here. There's 34. I was trying to set it on 35. It's so hard to get that exact. There we go, 35. And I'm going to crank that distance out. Max altitude 120, that's where we want it. It's not asking for any calibrations, so we're good to go there. I'm going to take a look at that firmware. So that was the other thing I meant to say, is we just updated firmware on this guy. And as you can see on the screen there, we're on 01.04.0000. And all that said is it improved flight safety, whatever that means, so I don't know. I'm going to put the little radar down in the corner. I call it radar. I know it's an attitude indicator. People give me a hard time about that. It looks like a radar screen. That's why I call it that. So let's take a look at our video settings. We are shooting in 4K 30 frames per second. And let's go ahead and start recording now. And I am going to take off here. Let's do it on the app here. So there, we'll do an auto takeoff. Let me turn the camera around. Make sure you can see that, and you can. So you guys missed that exact takeoff, but that's all right. Okay, so let's, this guy is so typical DJI. These drones are so stable. Well, I say that, whoops. It's kind of moving around here a little bit. Well, as soon as I said how stable it was, it kind of moved around, and I don't know if that was a gust of wind or what. But it's looking pretty good now. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna land it. We're surrounded by a bunch of metal here, so I don't know if that affected it. I'm kind of by some ball fields, but I don't know, not enough that I think it should affect it like that, but it's looking pretty stable now. So let's go ahead and do our usual droney. That caught me a little bit off guard, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of weird, that movement that it took there. So you can see where we're at here, and we're kind of going between the light poles, etc. Let me drop that camera down a little and pull it back, and you guys can see. Let's go up even further. You guys will get a look at this park here, and you can see that they're doing a bunch of construction. So I'm going to stop right there, and we are going to kind of move around here. We're not going to go over the top of it, but I'm going to show you kind of where the play area is here. And there's a fair amount of people here today, so we're going to kind of want to stay clear of a lot of this. The drone is handling just fine, so I don't know what happened there at the start. It could have been me moving a stick when I, inadvertently, possibly. So let's move towards, I'm actually kind of heading about due north right here. And we'll kind of skirt around the side of the park here. And let me get it kind of sideways so that you can see what we're doing here. And this is kind of a cool little park. There's a lot of walking paths and so forth. And where I'm at a ball field. And you can see across there the ball fields. And what's kind of straight in front of us is a couple of off-leash areas for dogs. Although people tend to put their dogs off leash all over the place around here, I've noticed, but no big deal. Anyway, we got a couple of ball fields over there, and I'm actually by one of them. And then what you're going to see is some construction on the other side of me, and I'm sure you can probably hear it. They are definitely moving some dirt around there. And I'll see if I can get around here where you guys can get a look at it. We're actually higher than we need to be. Let's bring it down just a little. Sorry about that yaw movement there. Moving the drone forward. And we're in normal mode, about 5 meters per second. I'm at full throttle going into the wind. Let's take a look at what these guys are doing with the land plane over there. I believe this is an expansion to the park. They're doing some expanding here. This is going to be, the city I think owns a lot of property here. And they are really planning on expanding this out. So I dropped the camera down so you could kind of get a better look. And you probably saw me standing down there at the edge of the ball field. Let's see if we can let's move around here, see if we can kind of get a look at the construction. Looks like they got some, they're setting up some drainage, etc. So I don't know how many acres here the city actually owns. Picking that camera back up for you a little bit. But it is pretty cool that they're doing this development. So one of the reasons for this flight today was to talk about the potential of what we might see in the Mini 3. And you know, we all saw those recent pictures that came out of the Mini 3 with what looked like just a kind of a funny looking front of the drone that had some kind of oversized eyeball sensors on it that looked a little bit weird. And I gotta be honest with you, when I first saw that picture, I thought, well, this is just somebody's pipe dream. But now we have seen pictures released of the frame of the drone, and it doesn't, you know, it looks like it's living up to what that picture we saw was. So that should be interesting. Obstacle avoidance sensors, I suppose that's what they are on the front. In fact, I'm quite sure that's what they are. And then it looked like it had a great big old gimbal on there. So, is it a 1-inch sensor on a mini drone? Wouldn't that be something? I think that there's a market for a full-featured drone. You know, we've all seen well, initially what Hubsan came up with the Xeno Mini Pro, where they had obstacle avoidance and a larger sensor on a mini drone. And it met with a lot of positive from people because they liked the specifications of it. Sadly, the drone didn't live up to, and I'm just dropping the gimbal down as you can see where I'm standing there at the end of the ball field. And you can see what I meant by there is some metal around me, but the drone is handling just fine. So whatever I did there early on was, I'm quite sure, operator error. So in any case, back to the potential of the Mini 3. So I think there is a market for a full-featured sub 250 gram drone. It's not such a big deal here in the United States, although some people will say it is because of the fact that sub 250 gram drones are not going to need to have remote ID on there, and I know that is important to some people. I can tell you, as a Part 107 pilot, I have to register my drone as a commercial product anyway, so it just really doesn't make any difference to me. Just a note here, you can see some road construction going on here, and in fact, I don't know what this building is here, but let's kind of move a little sideways here. We can go down there a little ways and kind of see. Let's just kind of do a circle around this thing. Drop the gimbal down. We'll just kind of do a little orbit. Let me get sideways. Wonder what that building is going to be there. It's obviously a commercial space. It certainly doesn't look like a school. Yeah, who knows what that is. And you can see, again, welcome to Idaho. Look at all the development here. You know, I'm sure those are probably residential areas on the other side there. So much development going on around here. It is crazy. Picking that gimbal up again for you. And this little, you know, in praise of mini drones, you know, this little Mini 2, I mean, you can see we've got, this is a fairly windy day, and it's just handling this like a champ. We're not having any problems at all. And we're getting nice 4K 30 frames per second video. Gosh, we're only at 56% on battery. I mean, this is just a phenomenal little piece of technology. You can see a fire truck just came in here and is going by. And yeah, so we'll kind of rotate around here again and let you kind of get a look. Let me move in a little closer and you can kind of get a look at the play structures here. They have some kind of innovative play structures in this park, almost like a little zip line there and a bunch of stuff. And this little thing kind of, well, I'll put it right in the center of frame right now, and I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to go over. That is a little sand pit, but there's water that kids can pour into that, and they can kind of dig their own little irrigation ditches and stuff. It's a fascinating little piece of play technology. And when you look in this center part here, that is really like cushy. Like if you, it's some kind of a rubberized thing, and if you fell on it, you just kind of bounce. It's kind of fascinating technology. Pretty cool. It's I just think it's so awesome to see that kind of stuff available for kids. But anyway, back to the Mini 3, and I'm sorry I'm all over the map here with different subjects, but the Mini 3. If we get a 1-inch sensor on there, I think that will be fascinating, and to be able to get that kind of, I got something going on with my FPV here, and I don't know if it was the drone. Oh yeah, we got something. I got something going on. Okay, discretion is the better part of valor. Yeah, the camera is picking up and doing some weird things. Okay, guys. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I got something weird going on here. I'm going to hit it return to home. And let's get this guy on its way home. I don't know what. I've never seen this with this drone. So, wow, that is weird stuff. We're going to go right over the top of this. I saw it. Yeah, I mean, the gimbal is just acting weird. So I don't know if that's wind related or what. But we're going to bring this baby down. That is crazy. So like I'm trying to move the gimbal and it is not moving with the controls. Drone's coming down now, so we're in good shape. But boy, that was pretty weird. Gimbal motor overloaded, it says. So I wonder if that has to do with the wind. I've never seen that. I'm moving the drone around here. And it's going to hit pretty darn close to our landing pad here, fairly close. I'm just going to let it land. Unsuitable for landing. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's see if we can bring it over the pad here a little bit. And I'm not worried about hitting it exactly because we're on concrete. Let's just hit that down stick right now. Yeah, and I was a little bit the other side of the pad there. But wow, that's interesting. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to cycle the power on the drone, turning off recording right now. I'm going to cycle the power on the drone and try this again and see what happened there. Okay, what I did there is I just turned the drone on and off, and let's see if it connects back up here again. Yeah, it says gimbal stuck. Interesting. I wonder if it was I wonder if it's dust or something. Yeah, I'm watching the gimbal move up and down. I'm going to cycle it again. I'll tell you what, that is really odd. I have not had that happen before with this drone. So, and look at it, it is gimbal stuck again. Well, okay. Okay, so we've lost that gimbal stuck. I just kind of manually moved the gimbal around a little bit, and it looks like it's working now. So I wonder if a piece of dust or something got caught in there. Anyway, let's do we've only got 39% battery, so we won't get too carried away. Let's do a manual takeoff. And there's the drone. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm going to move around to the other side of us here, out into the open field, and see if we can take off this other direction, kind of right behind us. So that was strange. It appears to be working now. It makes me wonder, with all this construction, I wonder if there's dust in the air and something got caught in that gimbal, because it seems to be working just fine right now. So let's do another droney, reverse and up. And look at that, it's working just fine now. That was a very, very strange deal there, guys. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I've never seen that had that kind of an error, particularly with the DJI drones. So kind of move around here. I'm going to grab some altitude. I want to make sure I'm way above all these light poles and all this stuff. And just for my own, yeah, RC signal interference, it says, and I am right facing towards the drone. So I don't know, that's odd too. Let's fly it out over the field here so that if we do have a problem, we're out over the field, over the construction here. But anyway, let's see, I better start recording again. There's recording, forgot all about that. RC signal interference, and I am faced right at the drone. That is I'm seeing some things that I've never seen before with this guy. Seems to be handling okay now. But anyway, I want to finish my thoughts on the what we might see with a Mini 3. So a 1-inch sensor, I think, would be a game changer, particularly if you could get 60 frames per second on a smaller drone like that. And if, you know, what looks like a 2-axis gimbal, which could be because it's a big heavy camera on a little mini drone, right? I mean, you know, if you've got a 1-inch sensor, it's going to be big and heavy. Coming back towards us now, the drone is flying just fine now, so I do not know what that issue that we saw earlier was. That was very strange. But anyway, Mini 3 again, and 1-inch sensor, I think that'd be a game changer. Then they also, in that picture, they showed what appeared to be some form of a smart controller, an all-in-one controller with a display on it. Folks, I'm all in on that. Now, the big deal is, what's it going to cost price-wise, right? Could it end up being... See there, that interference again, and I am so close to the drone. I don't know. Very strange. Well, like I said, I'm seeing stuff with this little guy that I've never seen before. So anyway, let's, if we can get a display with, or excuse me, an RC with a display on it and a 1-inch sensor and some form of obstacle avoidance and tracking on a sub 249 gram drone, I think that will be a big deal, particularly in Europe and in Canada, where a sub 249 gram drone you don't even need a license for. And then the same thing in Europe. There's so much in Europe and the UK. There's so much more you can do with a sub 249 gram drone. So we're gonna fly there again. RC interference. I just don't. It's right above me. It's kind of strange. Let's go out this way and let's see if it'll see what it takes to get it in to go into low battery return to home. So that's it. Yeah. So now it's telling me low battery at 20%. Return home promptly. But as you can see, we still have green on that battery meter. So it knows that and they build a safety into this, that it can get home. So we'll gradually kind of turn around here. And we'll start bringing this guy back. Should we do an automated RTH? I think we should. Yeah, it's going to do it for us here. Look at it, it's giving us the countdown, so let's just let it do it. And whatever issue we had with the gimbal is done. I'm going to say this wind and stuff, I'm wondering if it got and all this construction, if it got some dirt or something caught in that gimbal, because it seems to be fine now. So, in any case, exciting times and for mini drones, and whatever DJI brings us with the Mini 3, we know it's going to be an exciting product, and it's going to be innovative like they always are. That gimbal, is it 2-axis, 3-axis? I don't know. If it's a 2-axis gimbal, I bet you they'll have, with that big sensor, it'll probably allow them to have electronic image stabilization on that 3rd axis. Okay, we're pointed straight down here. And it kicked the camera back just a little bit when it came to a stop. Looks like it's going to be darn close to that, to landing on the pad. Look at that, it's coming right down. Yeah, it's gonna be darn close here. Well, it's moving off a little bit now. But in any case, the Mini 3, DJI is going to give us something cool. And a full-featured one with a display, is it going to be expensive? Probably so. You know, a base model at $700 and a Fly More with that fancy RC with the display on it, could that approach $1,000? It probably could. But if you need a full-featured sub 249 gram drone, it's worth it. Look at this. We're gonna nail this landing. Yeah, and it didn't want to land, so we're going to click OK, and then it landed, and it's just off the pad, so good enough. Okay, let's stop recording. Let me get everything shut down, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey guys, a couple of issues on this flight with the Mini 2. It was fun looking at the park here and all the expansion that they're doing, but we had that weird issue with the gimbal, and I don't know what that was. Was it the wind? Pretty high winds up there. Could it have blown the gimbal off and then it needed to be reset? That's possible. Then it said gimbal stuck, which was weird after I cycled it a couple times, but it started working fine then. And then we had a couple of situations where it gave me, I think it said transmission interference or something like that. Never seen that before with OcuSync 2, but there it was. Never lost FPV, never lost control of the drone, but interesting nonetheless, and it's worth mentioning. Then we talked a lot about the potential of a DJI Mini 3. I thought it was a bunch of hooey at first when they first talked about the, you know, when we saw those first pictures, it looked so weird. But now that we've seen those pictures of the framework of the drone, it seems like it's, you know, that's probably what it is. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying a 1-inch sensor on the front. That's a big old gimbal they had on the front of that thing. Looked like for sure some kind of obstacle avoidance with those big eyes out front. Will it have tracking? I know a lot of people want that. That would be cool. So a lot of potential with that little drone. I'm willing to bet more powerful motors, etc. We'll see. Battery life and all those things are important. The other thing that was very, very interesting is that controller. The controller with the display on it. Some version of what we call a smart controller or the RC Pro, like for the Mavic 3 and the Air 2S. The other thing about the potential of the Mini 3 is price, right? If it has all those features, it's going to be more expensive. Will it approach $1,000? I'm willing to bet it will. I'm also willing to bet that they'll have a base model that's much cheaper, hopefully around $650 or $700. We'll see. These little guys are getting expensive. But anyway, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this flight today. I had a lot of fun doing it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now. DJI Mini 2. See you guys later.